How is everyone today? We are glad to see all of you here as we continue the celebration of Black History Month. We are the Cultural Heritage Choir from Oakland, California. We have a lot of interesting music for all of the little kids and the big kids who are in the audience. But first, we have a special message from the Postmaster General of San Francisco. I don't know if I was supposed to announce him or if our MC was, but anyway, I'm telling you who's coming out. Where is MC?
Good morning, everyone. We're really excited that you all are here joining us today. We have a really exciting program. My name is Lyle Link. I'm going to be hosting the family matinee today. Just a couple of things before we get started. Please turn off any phones or devices that might disturb the performers. And of course, no flash photography. Also, take a moment to look around the hall and notice any exits nearest you. Kids, you have a really important task. Please make sure your parents stay in their seats. That may be tricky once the music starts. And of course, no wandering in the aisles or blocking the walkways. And we're also happy to welcome our viewers coming up to us via live stream around the country and around the world. So after I say this, can you all repeat? Hello out there. Awesome. Happy that they're joining us as well. And a bit later in our program, our young folks will have a chance to ask questions of our artists, and we will have a microphone set up on the floor out here where you can come up. So if you have a question during the performance, keep it in your head, and you'll have a chance to ask our wonderful artists at that point. Now, I'm very happy to introduce our partner for today's program, Mr. Abraham Cooper, the Postmaster of San Francisco, who will tell us a little bit more about this special day here at this SFJAZZ Center. Please give a warm welcome to Mr. Abraham Cooper.
Good morning. Or is it good afternoon?
Still morning.
Still morning. Yeah, still morning. Well, all right, how's that? All right, well, it gives me great pleasure to be here this morning, and what a beautiful crowd it is. I'm so proud to be honored here this afternoon, this morning, on another Building Bridges community event. You know, the first event I took place with was a couple years ago, actually honoring the special postal cancellation 100th anniversary of the opening day of the Pacific Inter Club Yacht Association on the San Francisco Bay. The term building bridges is a very appropriate because music across all bridges and genres. And stamp serves as a way to educate everyone on the piece of history that represents our American culture. I'm especially proud that the stamp chosen to celebrate the San Francisco Jazz is our newest issue in the Black Heritage Stamp series. The Gregory Hines stamp. This stamp, and you think about Gregory Hines as a dancer, an actor, great ambassador for our music, is more than just entertainment. It is inspiring and it lifts the human spirit. Jazz, like postage stamp, is truly an American genre. Its root stems from the African American communities of New Orleans in the late 19th and early 20th century, and developed from the early origin blues, ragtime. Jazz is characterized by the improvisation of swing and blue notes and vocal steeps in the personal experience of African American and around the bayou. Music bridges all cultures, and our postage stamp on the U.S. mail crosses all bridges, all communities in America, from the concrete steel towers in Manhattan to the highest peak in Alaska, from the Long Island and across Puerto Rico to the volcanoes of Hawaii. All of the lowest postage rate in the entire industry and in the entire world. Again, I want to thank you for this opportunity, and also at this time, it gives me great pleasure to bring Lyle back on the stage, and now we will partake and begin the festivities with the cancellation. All right, Lyle, we can do this together.
All right.
All right, ready?
Yep.
With great precision.
A lot of pressure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cooper. Now, after the performance today, each member of the audience will receive a pre-stamped envelope with this special cancellation stamp, and you can mail a letter to your family and friends from the SFJAZZ Center, which is officially a post office today. Now, after the program, please head up to the second floor lobby to mail your letter. Some of you have already signed up for the family workshop in the Joe Henderson lab just right outside. And you can visit the post office upstairs afterward, which closes at 2 p.m. Now, who's ready for some amazing music? We're really fortunate to have this amazing group of musicians in our community who are dedicated to preserving the sounds of African American folk music, and today we celebrate the kid in all of us. Linda Tillery is an African American singer, percussionist, producer, songwriter, and music arranger, and has enjoyed a long career in music. She has performed with artists as diverse as Santana, Bobby McFerrin, Huey Lewis and the News, and the Turtle Island String Quartet. In 1992, Linda Tillery came across a treasure trove of field recordings of traditional African American music. Within months, she had assembled the Cultural Heritage Choir. Originally a 6-member ensemble to perform spirituals, work and play songs, field hollers, and other slave songs in the folk tradition. Her research introduced her to the folk music catalog of the Library of Congress, the documentary recordings of the Lomaxes, the ethnomusicological work of Bernice Johnson Reagan, the Schoenberg Center for Research in Black Culture, and Eileen Southern's indispensable Greenwood Encyclopedia of Black Music. Yeah. Today, the Cultural Heritage Choir is one of the vital performing groups in its field, bringing traditional forms of African American culture to the stage. Solidly rooted in the past all the way back to the African-derived Gula culture of South Carolina and Georgia Sea Islands, the Cultural Heritage Choir has a powerful vision of the future as well. In addition to songs and chants delivered through such stylistic forms as call and response, multi-layered harmonies, and repetitive verse, the CHE and their repertoire includes intoned sermons, folk tales, and polyrhythmic percussion and dance. And without further ado, let's give a warm round of applause to the Cultural Heritage Choir.
Thank you. Thank you, Lyle. So I know that a lot of you are waiting to hear the music, so we're going to get right into it. But we're going to do a little warm-up exercise to get everybody involved. So Miss Rhonda is going to lead this. It's number counting. And if everyone could stand, or everyone who's able to stand, please stand and participate in this exercise with us.
Good morning. Oh, good morning. We're going to do a little rhythmic exercise. It does two things at one time. Starts to get us all warmed up, and also teaches us how to count. So our first movement is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, We got to count everybody in. It's very important in the beginning of music. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Great. Next is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's do both of those together. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
1, 2, 3. Now we're going to take 2 steps. we're going to take 2 steps, but each step is going to get 2 counts. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Got that? 1, 2, ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4. That's good. Let's put all those 3 together. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and
1, 2, 3,
4,
5, 6, 7,
8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the last one is our whole note, and we're going to take our body and go all the way around the world. Or if you grew up in the hood like I did, that's called the fat man. So here we go. All the way around the world. 1. All the way around the world. You got it? Okay, do it again for the fat man. Come on. All the way around the world. Okay, we're going to start. We're going to slow it down, and we're going to speed up each time. You ready? Yeah. You ready? Yeah. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All the way around the faster.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Not that fast.
3.
1, 2, 3, 4. All okay, slow that train down.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2,
3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All the way around the faster.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. All the way around. Let's faster.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, one more. Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. All the way around the world.
Very good.
Everybody's warm.
Very good, very good, very good. Now, we're going to add to the clapping, we're going to add what's called an upbeat. How many of you take music lessons? How many of you study music? I knew you did. I could tell. All right. So for every downbeat, there is an upbeat that follows, right?
Yeah.
So if we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, let's put the upbeats in there, okay? Yeah. I want to hear you do it. 1, 2, ready, go.
1, 2, 3.
Just the ands. Just the ands.
1 and.
Good. Now keep that going, center section. Over here, give me the downbeats.
Downbeat. Upbeat.
Downbeats.
Upbeat. Upbeats. We're here.
Okay, now you keep going. I want everybody to give me eighth notes in the feet. Okay? 1, 2, ready, go. Yeah. Keep the clapping going. One, two, ready, stop. Very good. Now, what you just did is we replicated somewhat what happens on Sundays in Pentecostal churches. That is exactly how the clapping and the foot stomping goes, okay? And we'll give you an example of hand clapping, foot stomping, singing, and playing at the same time at a later time. Okay, we're gonna, what we got here? We're gonna do what's called a train medley, and this is a group of songs that are associated with the Underground Railroad. And if you know any of these melodies, feel free to sing along, okay? All right, here we go. this train, this train, this train, this train is bound for glory. This train, this train is bound for glory. This train, this train is bound for glory. If you're right, you must be holy. This train is bound for glory. This train don't care no liars. This train don't care no liars. This train don't carry no lies, no hypocrites, no midnight riders. This train don't care no liars. This train don't care no gamblers. This train don't care no gamblers. This train don't carry no gamblers, no hypocrites, no midnight ramblers. This train don't care no gamblers. This train. Little David, play on your harp. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Little David, play on your harp. Hallelujah. Little David, play on your harp. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Little David, play on your harp. Hallelujah. Little David was a shepherd boy. What'd he do? He killed Goliath. And he shout for joy. Little David, play on your harp. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Little David, play on your harp. Hallelujah. Little David, play on your harp. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Little David, play on your harp. Hallelujah. Done told you once, done told you twice. You never get to heaven. Shooting dice, little David, play on your harp. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Little David, play on your harp. Hallelujah. Little David, play on your harp. Yeah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Little David, play on your harp. Hallelujah. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? It sounds like freedom. Somebody's calling my name. It sounds like freedom. Somebody's calling my name. Sounds like freedom. Somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? Hush, hush, don't say a mumbling word. Hush, hush, don't say a mumbling word. Hush, hush, don't say a mumbling word. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? This train, 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 this train. Thank you. Thank you very much. We noticed that we have a little cadre of budding drummers in this front row,
Yes.
which is a wonderful thing. What's the name of that song that you taught us a little while ago?
You talk too much?
You talk too much. You talk too much.
You worry me to death.
Yes. This is one of those old 50s grooves.
I'm going to do this in a call and response so that you all can sing it back to us, all right? Put your hands together first and let's get a groove. Hey, 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 hey. All right. You talk too much, you worry me to death.
Bochinche.
Talk too much, you worry me to death.
You talk too much, you even worry my pet.
You talk too much, you even worry my pet.
You just talk.
Talk.
You talk too much. Turn two.
You talk too much.
Come on, yeah. You talk about people that you don't know.
You talk about people that you don't know.
You talk about people wherever you go.
You talk about people wherever you go.
You just talk. You talk too much. Come on, audience.
Da, 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 da,
Oh, you know you talk too
Let's groove.
much.
Hey, hey, hey. Boop, boop, ba-da-da-dum, dum, 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 dum. Wow, 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 wow.
Wow, 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 wow.
You talk too much, you worry me to death.
You talk too much, you worry me to death.
You talk too much, you even worry my pet.
You talk too much, you even worry my pet.
You just talk. You talk too much.
Talk. You talk too much.
You talk too much, you worry me to death.
You talk too much, you worry me to death.
You talk too much, you even worry my pet.
You talk too much, you even worry my pet.
You just talk. You talk too much.
Da, 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 da.
Talk. You talk too much. You just talk. Here we go. Talk too much.
Yeah, Rhonda.
Rhonda Benin. You talk too much.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wonderful. I was wondering. No, I like that. I'm a oldie but goodie. I like analog, and I still mail letters in a mailbox.
Even write letters.
I even write letters, and I can spell. I know the difference between your and your.
Ooh.
What is this world coming to? We have an item that we do, and I'm not quite sure how we're going to pull this off, but it's a wonderful Gullah children's play song. It's called The Old Lady Come from Booster. How many of you have ever done this with us, the Ranky Tanky? Anybody? Okay, so we have a lot of first-timers. Now, the thing is, we have to have a dance area. What are we going to use?
I'm going to be right up here.
Okay, so they can stand in their places and
Yes.
do it. Okay, so you'll stay in your places and do it. First, I want to try this out with the youngsters. Okay, so that would be anyone from, say, 30 down. And okay, let's say 35 down. Okay. And this is all about. This is a story about two young children who misbehaved, and they were subjected to an old antiquated ritual called a spanking.
Oh dear.
And
What is that?
they had done something bad. Anyway, so we're going to call out parts of the body, and you will move that part of the body as if you had been coached by your mom and dad. Okay, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's practice. Who knows where the shoulders are? Point to your shoulders. Shoulders? Okay. And your hips? Where are your hips? Your hips are on the side. Yeah, there you go. Your legs? Legs. Wiggle your legs. Your elbow. Elbowing. And let's see. Where else? Oh, the neck. The neck. House. Yes. House.
Neck.
Okay, the neck.
And the knee?
Yeah, we did knee. We did the knee.
Okay.
Okay, so remember you're going to shake these vigorously, okay? As if you had been, as I say, coached by grandma or mom or dad. Whoever was the disciplinarian in your family. My mother was the one. Woo. Lordy.
Hey!
Old lady come from Booster.
Booster.
Had 2 hens and a rooster. Rooster died, old lady cried. Now she don't get egg like she used to. Sing a song.
Oh my, you look so.
Uh-huh.
Oh my, you look so.
Well, who been here since I was gone?
2 little boys with the blue caps on.
Pin them boys on the hickory stick. Pinky tanky down my shoe. Papa's gonna whack them good. Wham! Penny in your hip.
Ranky tanky.
Penny in your leg.
Ranky tanky.
Penny in your knees.
Ranky tanky.
Penny in your elbow.
Ranky tanky.
Penny in your shoulder.
Ranky tanky.
Penny in your neck.
Ranky tanky.
Penny in your head.
Ranky tanky.
Pins all over me.
Ranky tanky.
Pins all over me.
Ranky tanky.
Okay, you got the drift of that, how that goes? So come on and do this along with Miss Rhonda. Call the ranky tanky. 1, 2, 3, 4. Penny in your hips.
Ranky tanky.
Penny in your legs.
Ranky tanky.
Penny in your knees.
Ranky tanky.
Penny in your elbow.
Ranky tanky.
Penny in your shoulder.
Ranky tanky.
Penny in your neck.
Ranky tanky.
Penny in your head.
Ranky tanky.
Pins all over me.
Ranky tanky.
Pins all over me.
Ranky tanky.
Now you let the bon tom roulette.
Ranky tanky.
Bon tom roulette.
Ranky tanky.
Let the bon tom roulette.
Ranky tanky.
Bon tom roulette.
Ranky tanky.
Shake it to the east.
Ranky tanky.
Shake it to the west.
Ranky tanky.
Shake it all around.
Ranky tanky.
You know you're the best.
Ranky tanky.
All right, now we're going to have Uncle Brian come out and do the ranky tanky one more time. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Penny in your hip,
Ranky tanky.
penny in your legs,
Ranky tanky.
penny in your knees,
Ranky tanky.
penny in your elbow,
Ranky tanky.
penny in your shoulder,
Ranky tanky.
penny in your neck,
Ranky tanky.
penny in your head.
Ranky tanky.
Pins all over me,
Ranky tanky.
pins all yourselves a hand. We got a lively group out here today, huh?
Yeah. We do.
How you doing up there?
Woo.
How you doing out there? All right, that's what I'm talking about. We have some good dancers in the house.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you guys see them?
Yeah, they look good too.
They looked very, very good. Can we have house lights up for a second? Can we have the house lights up
There they
for
go.
a moment? Ah, there they go.
Yeah, we can see the people.
Okay, this is going to be short and quick, but for anyone who was alive, say in 1960, who was around 1960? Okay, Javi, give me an old rock and roll beat on the cajon. Boom, boom, back, boom. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I said na 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 na. Your turn. Sing it one time.
Na 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 na.
One more time. I said na 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 na. You gotta know how to pony.
Oh yeah.
Like Boney Maroney. Ooh, ooh. Mashed potatoes.
Oh yeah.
Do the alligator. You gotta twist a twister.
Oh yeah.
Like your sister. And then do the Watusi.
Oh yeah.
Like my little Lucy. I said na 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 na. Everybody sing one time.
Na 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 na.
Speed it up, speed it up, speed it up.
Uh-oh.
Here we
Come
go.
on, Bobby.
You gotta know how to pony.
Oh yeah.
Like Boney Maroney. You gotta match potatoes.
Oh yeah.
Do the alligator. Twist your twister.
Oh yeah.
And your sister. You gotta do the Watusi.
Oh yeah.
Of my little Lucy. Here we go.
Hey.
Do that one more time. I said, well, you know you gotta mash potatoes.
Oh yeah.
Do the alligator. Twist the twister.
Oh yeah.
Like your sister. Roll on your back.
Oh yeah.
Said I like it like that. Said do the Watusi.
Oh yeah.
And my little Lucy. One more time. One time with harmony.
Na 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 na. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Did you see the bass players out there, Linda? We got some air bass players.
Yes, some
up
air
there.
bass players. Doesn't that feel good? Those old tunes. Wow.
Wow.
We got another one, another oldie for you, and we noticed.
He felt it.
Did he got hit by the Holy Spirit?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Holy Nana.
The Holy Nana. There have been resurgences of certain songs that were recorded, say, in the 50s and the 60s. And there's one song by Bobby Day that sort of had a second life in the 90s and early 2000s. And I know that a lot of you I know that a lot of you, he's having his own party on his side of, yeah. I know that a lot of you remember this. So parents, thank you. That's why you are entered into other professions. Let us try that. Let us try that as triplets. Okay? Maybe it was me who had dyslipsia. Okay, so. Tweedly diddly dee. Yeah. Tweedly diddly dee. Tweedly diddly dee. Tweedly diddly dee. Tweet, tweet. Tweet, tweet. Okay, let's go back to the top, which is called what? The head.
I heard that. Tell the truth.
Well, I mean, I know the melodic line is called the head, but before you get to the head, you have da capo. Da capo. Okay. I know I sound like a castrati, but forgive me.
You know what?
Tweedledee. Tweedledee. Tweet, tweet. Tweet, tweet.
Tweet, tweet.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. I wish I were. Okay. Oh, you know what? That's too slow.
Yeah.
That is,
Okay.
huh?
Let's pick it up.
I told you I was old school. Yeah, because my medication is taking a minute to kick in. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Tweedledee, 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 tweet, 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 tweet.
Rocks in the treetop all day long, hopping and bopping and singing this song.
Yay!
All the little birdies on Jaybird Street love to hear the robin going tweet, 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 rockin' robin, tweet, 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 rockin' robin, tweet, tweet, go rockin' robin, 'cause we're really gonna rock tonight. Every little swallow, every chickadee, every little bird in the tall oak tree, the wise old owl, the big black crow, flapping them wings, saying go, man, go, rockin' robin, tweet, 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 rockin' robin, tweet, tweet, go, rockin' robin, 'cause we're really gonna rock tonight. Pop you rabbit and the bird, pop you rabbit,
Talk about it, do the bop, and it was grand. Started going steady, and I bless my soul. Pop, pop the buzzing and the Oreo.
it rocks in the treetop all night long, hopping and bobbing and singing this song. All the little birds on Jaybird Street, they love to hear the robin go tweet, 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 rockin' robin, tweet, 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 rockin' robin, tweet, tweet, go rockin' robin, 'cause we're really gonna rock tonight.
Pretty little rabbit and the bird danced and taught him how to do the bop, and it was grand. Started going steady, and I bless my soul. Pop, pop the buzzing and the Oreo.
He rocks in the treetop all night long, hopping and bobbing and singing his song. All the little birdies on Jaybird Street, they love to hear the robin going tweet, 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 rockin' robin, tweet, 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 rockin' robin, tweet, tweet, go rockin' robin, 'cause we're really gonna rock tonight. Tweet, 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 tweet.
the opportunity for about 10 minutes of question and answer. So if you have some questions for us, yes, there's our moderator. There he is.
Wow.
Thank you.
You're on
Thank
the
you,
case.
Linda. That was perfect. Round of applause for Linda Tillery, Cultural Heritage Choir. Also, kids, I realized I asked you all to keep your parents in your seats. I realized that was an impossible request. You can't stay still with this group. That was absolutely wonderful. So we do want to invite you all to ask some questions. Anyone have any questions? If you could make your way down to our microphone so that everyone here as well as remotely can hear your question. Don't be shy. I see some folks coming down. Awesome. All right.
What's your question?
Say it loud.
Oh, we have people, huh?
Yeah. Did you have a question?
Good.
Do you want to wait a little bit?
It's hard on the mic.
We'll go.
Shy to speaking.
Oh, do you want to tell me? We'll wait a minute.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, we'll come back to you.
Does the guy in the suit talk?
She said, does the guy in the suit talk? You mean this one?
No, he doesn't
Yeah,
speak. He
yeah.
He doesn't speak.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. That's a great question, actually. He can sing, too.
can sing, too.
He can sing, too.
That's incredible.
How did you guys meet?
How did you meet?
How do we meet?
Okay, I'll give you the brief history. Somewhere around 1991, 1992, I had an inspiration after performing on a recording of field recordings and adapting them. And I thought, this is what I want to do for the next incarnation of my life. So I called together 6 women initially to perform, and Rhonda Benin there is one of the original members. And over time, the membership changed, and I ended up with this version, which is one of the versions that I like most of all, because we have a real basso who can sing very low. Thank you for asking that question.
How did you guys find the passion to sing?
How old are you?
I can answer for me. I think it found me.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I think it finds you, doesn't it? It just shows up in your life, and you got to keep doing it. Yeah. Or you don't feel right. Do you sing? Yeah. Did it find you one day? You woke up and you realized it made you happy? Yeah, there it is.
I was inspired by Ethel Merman.
Why you have so many microphones?
You're going to have to talk to SFJAZZ about that.
So that each person can be heard, and then you can hear all the different instruments. So that's why we have so many microphones.
That's a better answer.
Good question, good answer.
What is the box instrument?
What is the box?
What is the box instrument?
Okay, does anybody here know what the... Does anybody here know what the Spanish word for box is? Caja. This is, and this is, and Javier is sitting on a cajon. Originally, these instruments came to be in South America, and they were slave instruments. And people used to play fruit boxes. Sometimes they'd pull out a dresser drawer and make music with it, anything that was made of wood.
How does the music play through the drums?
How does it play through them?
Yes.
Yeah, they're hollow. Yeah.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Well, these particular drums right here, these drums are in the United States. They're called conga drums. Can you say conga drums?
Conga drum.
Or you could say tambor. In Cuba, where this drum comes from, is called a tambor. Can you say tambor?
Tambor.
But originally came from Africa, And with my hands, I'm able to get different sounds out of the drum. Maybe we could count how many sounds I could get out of the drum, and I can make a sentence. So the first sound is this, an open tone, and then there's a muff tone, and then if I put my left hand on the drum and then hit it at the same time, it's a slap. If I lift the drum up with my knees, I get a bass sound. If I scratch my beard, I get a beard sound. If I use my finger in the center of the drum and use this other finger, I get a harmonic sound. If I lick my fingers, sometimes I could get. So all together, I make a sentence, and that's how the music comes to the drum.
Great question.
Well said, Holly. Nicely done, sir.
Great answer.
Why'd you choose to do music?
Why'd you choose to do music?
So we can stay poor.
Wait, now I'm not poor. I am not poor.
Don't believe that.
Don't believe it. You know, I want to say I chose to keep doing music because, one, it makes me happy. I find that I get a little cranky if I don't make music fairly often. But the other thing music has done, hon, is it's let me see the world. Because music is pretty universal, right? Everybody loves music. And you can go just about anywhere in the world and make music, and people will sit with you, party with you, make music with you, communicate with you. So that's why I do it.
Yeah. Where is that young lady? She's still around?
Yep, she's right there with her cat ears.
Okay, I just wanted to add to what Zoe said. The Cultural Heritage Choir, starting out, we were 6 women, all of us over 40, all of us not looking like Beyonce, but we created a sound and an environment that a lot of people could relate to. And so we have traveled to something like 24 different countries
Linda,
with this music.
We are about at 35 countries. 24 was 20 years ago. We have traveled over 30 countries. Wow. I wrote it down.
Yeah. It's the cultural exchange for me that I really love. I love meeting people in other countries and learning how they relate to music. For example, if you want to play, say, a 6/8 in Afro-Cuban music, it sounds one way, and then you can go to El Salvador, and they're playing in 6 a different way, and then you can go to Ireland, and they play in 6, but it's a different emphasis, and it never ends. It never ever ends. That's the draw.
He's back. Let's go.
How do you sing and play the music at the same time?
Hard work.
Practice. Lots of
I
practice.
remember many nights sitting in front of the TV or with the rehearsal tape with an instrument in my hand, trying to do my feet at the same time, play an instrument and sing at the same time. It was not an easy thing. But after a while, your brain can signal itself, and it can separate itself, and you're able to do all things at the same time.
Great question, too.
It is a great question. You have to practice. You just have to practice.
What's that thing by the drums that you step on?
The bell here?
This is a bell. Since I'm using my hands to play the conga drums, my feet are free. So with my left foot, I have a bell, and there's a little like a little beater, a hammer that hits the bell, that keeps the time, keeps the pulse together. So if I wanted to add, so I could use whatever I can to create to make more music. But that's what this keeps the pulse together.
Has anybody ever seen that kick pedal before? Have you ever seen a drum set, the bass drum on the bottom? That's the same pedal they use to play that bass drum in a drum kit, yeah?
I'm waiting for somebody to ask me why I hired Javier.
We have about time for one more question, but I do want to remind you all we have a workshop they'll be hosting right outside in the Joe Henderson lab, adjacent to the lobby, so you'll be able to ask some more questions.
Do we have another question?
How old were you when you started singing?
Good question.
Oh, 6.
Yeah.
6.
Probably about the same for me.
I was 8. Yeah.
3.
Yeah, probably about 5 or 6.
Tammy was not out of the womb yet. She just was singing on entry.
I would venture to say that we were all born singers. We could sing. I could sing before I could walk.
Yeah. Do you sing?
Yeah.
When did you start?
I'm not sure, really.
You're not really
I
sure?
kind of
All right.
forgot.
Maybe mom and dad can let us know later. Yeah.
All right, great questions. Give yourself a round of applause for being such a wonderful audience today. We're going to ask the group to close this out with one more selection, but before we do that, just remind you guys to please head up to the second floor lobby to mail your letter. And again, make sure that you come check us out in the workshop next door at the Joe Henderson Lab. Thank you all for coming out again. It's been a wonderful audience.
One of the special skills that our bass singer, Mr. Brian Dyer, has is that he's able to communicate through his vocal talents in many different ways. And this is a contemporary genre of music that he has perfected. You ready?
Wow, perfected. Thank
Yes.
you. Wow.
Yes.
Strong. So, if you don't have an instrument, let's say you don't have a lot of drums, you don't have bells and shakers and stuff like that, and all you have is your body, you can also play drums too. Everybody, clap your hands. Say the boom, 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 do the boom, doom, doom, doom,
Come on, come on, come on.
bread.
Mama love.
Shortening bread.
Papa love.
Shortening bread.
Everybody love.
Shortening bread.
I do love.
Shortening bread.
Brian Dyer. Yeah. We have one last song we're going to do for you in honor, again, of Black History Month. This is another song that comes from the southern part of the United States, and it is what you would call an anthem, civil rights anthem. And it goes like this. Good tempo. E flat.
I bet some of you know this, so I sure would love if you sang with me, because times haven't changed all that much, right? Let's try it. Here we go. We shall not be moved. Said we shall not be moved, just like a tree planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Let's sing it all together, y'all, shall we? Say we shall not be moved. Oh, no, 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 no. We shall not be moved, just like the tree planted by the water. Said we shall not be moved. Feel free to get on your feet if you want to. We're black and white together. We shall not be moved. Oh, we're black and white together. Say we shall not be moved, just like that tree that's planted by the water. We're gay and straight together. We shall not be moved. Oh yes, we're gay and straight together here in the Bay. We shall not be moved, just like that tree planted by the water. We shall not be moved. And what I like about this room, we're young and old together. We shall not be moved. Oh, we're young and old together. We shall not be moved, just like the tree planted by the water. Then we shall not be moved. Let's give them some rhythm, y'all. Here we go. Come on, everybody. All right, let's sing like nobody's watching. We shall not. We shall not. We shall not. Yeah. We shall not. We shall not be moved, just like a tree. Come on, band. Last time. Here we go. Say, we shall not be moved. No, 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 no. We shall not. Said we shall not be moved, just like that tree planted by the water. Say we shall not be moved. Thank you so much. Sounds so good.
Linda Tillery and the Cultural Heritage Choir, everyone.
Thank
Give them a round
you.
of applause.
Thank you very much, Rhonda Benin, Brian Dyer, Javier Navarrete, Zoe Ellis, Tammy Hall, Tammy Brown.
And Linda Tillery.
Thank Thank you very much.
We'll see you next door.
Yes. Oh, Tammy.
Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, everybody. Thanks for coming out today. Back there dancing. I was like,